If you ask people what comes to mind when you hear the term hillbilly, some people might think of the movie Deliverance, which contains a lot of negative stereotypes. And some people might think of the more lovable Beverly Hillbillies. Not one of those people were from the hills, by the way. I know it's called acting, but a little authenticity never killed anybody. Anyway, what I think of when I hear hillbilly is a man named Marvin Sutton.
Well, we're going to tear this son of a bitch down.
Better known as Popcorn Sutton. He got the nickname after he beat the hell out of a popcorn vending machine with a pull stick in a barroom because the machine took his money and didn't give him his popcorn. I saw him in a documentary a long time ago and never forgot him. He's a stereotypical hillbilly, but he's also one of a kind. He's considered to be the last real moonshiner, and maybe even the last real hillbilly. And I'm on my way to Parrotsville, Tennessee. That's where he lived and is buried on his property. I'm going just for the heck of it, maybe see his house. This town has the highest crime rate in Tennessee. When we went to Graceland in Memphis 10 years ago, the motel desk clerks and the store sales clerks were behind bulletproof glass. And this town has an even higher crime rate than Memphis. But it looks like 100 other cute little towns I've driven through all over the country. You can't judge a book by its cover. I was expecting a horrible slum, and it's a clean little town. I think the crime rate is so high because moonshining that went on around here turned into bootlegging during Prohibition. I guess if these are the grandchildren of bootleggers, they aren't going to turn out to be model citizens necessarily. Are you the grandchild of a bootlegger? I think you are. The bootlegging brought in a lot of criminal activities, especially after the police department was put on the bootleggers' payroll. The police were still corrupt around here up until recently. Good old boys. Look at that house. It's about 3 feet from the railroad tracks. Looks like somebody still lives in it. Washer and dryer on the front porch. Wash their clothes. Wash, not wash. So Popcorn Sutton's house is somewhere on this road. This is a moonshiner's neighborhood. Again, not what I was expecting. All very pleasant farms. Farmers around here made moonshine with the leftover corn they grew because the money they made farming wasn't enough to support their families. Are those peacocks in the road? According to my GPS, this is the address. So this must be the cemetery Popcorn is buried in. How am I going to climb up there without people in that house seeing me? These headstones all look pretty old. Popcorn was buried less than 10 years ago. I don't think this is it. And now I see the number on that house. It's not the right place. So I'm going to drive around a little more. I got to find a way to turn around here. Oh wait, 324. This is the address right here. So his house is up hidden in those trees, which makes more sense if you don't want people to see your moonshine operation. It says no trespassing and beware of dog. This is the address the fire department responded to, and when they were fighting a fire at Popcorn's house, they found hundreds of gallons of moonshine on the property. And this is where his 4th wife found his body after he committed suicide. I'm going to drive to the other side of the Smoky Mountains where he was born. I think they have a makeshift museum at his family homestead. Popcorn wanted his hillbilly culture documented and preserved. He wrote a book about how to make moonshine. I even found him in videos about mountain dialect. Around here they'd say things like, "Put on my britches, fixin' to go to church, but got a flat tire. I reckon I can't patch up that tire, it was all tore up." Even that rim was all gummed up. Don't take no ride to church with that Peckerwood Homer and his biggin' bride. You uns come go with us. This translate to, I got dressed to drive to church, but I discovered I had a flat tire. The tire is too damaged to be repaired, so it will have to be replaced. Even the rim is a mess. Don't accept a ride with that jerk Homer and his overweight wife. We'll give you and your family a ride. Here's the sign. He was 62 when he killed himself to avoid prison for moonshining and illegal firearms. He had cancer, so maybe he was afraid he'd die in prison. That's the pen he kept his vicious guard dogs in. He used to have a sign warning people that the dogs had real teeth. He had a footstone already made for his grave. It was a message meant for the law and the government because they wouldn't leave him alone. Oh no, the Sutton homestead done collapsed. The roof is caved in. Well, this is a sad state of affairs. This was an old log cabin, I guess. Just the usual household garbage in there. I'm sure if there were any interesting souvenirs left in there, somebody would have taken them already. Damn shame, Popcorn. I gotta get out of here. I'm parked on the neighbor's grass. The name of that street over there is George Sutton Road. Must have been his father or his grandfather. They were also moonshiners. Let's check out what's up here. Looks like some condominium developments. Gentrification. That may be worse than having your homestead fall into a pile of rubble. Excuse me, Mr. Popcorn. The Homeowners Association strictly forbids that signage. Kindly remove it immediately. And we know what Popcorn's response would have been.
But anyway, back when I was growing up, if a man borrowed, say 50 cents off of you, but which was big money, or $1, that's big money, $1. If you loaned a man $1 back in my days, that was a lot of money. All right, that man told you he'd pay you back on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. You could watch your watch. At 10 o'clock on Saturday morning, by God, he'd be there to pay you. And if he couldn't pay you, he'd be there at 10 o'clock anyway. And he'd tell you, look here, I've had the hard luck, whatever. I can't pay you. Well, that's fine. But nowadays, you loan a son of a bitch $5, you're fucked. I mean, that's just it. This world went to hell in a handbasket. I'm telling it like it is. Now, there's a few people in my life that I trust. When they tell you they'll do something, they will. If they owe you money, they'll pay you. But goddamn, I can haul what few of them there are in a Volkswagen and it won't be crowded.